This is installment two on Eckhart Tolle, the spellcaster of the New Age movement, Grand Spellcaster. I will review a review of Tolle's New Earth book. It's a flattering review, not written by me, needless to say. Let's dive in and analyze a little. No book has impacted me as much as the New Earth. Impacted is a trendy new word. Um, I didn't hear it much 15 years ago. Impacted. It has that word pact in it. Pact with the devil impacted me. Well, why not just say affected me? No, it's trendy. I love reading spiritual books. There's that word spiritual again, from spirits, those alcoholic beverages. They have much in common, spiritualism and alcoholic spirits. From a very early age, I had a fascination with the esoteric, meaning secretive, exclusive, not exoteric, available and known to the many, the commoners. It's a strange word, though, esoteric. You would think maybe the opposite of exoteric would be entoteric, like exterior and interior. No, some game is played there. Eso is Spanish for that, just that. Or Latvian esot is being. Maybe that's the origin. Who knows? Well, he's had this fascination with the esoteric, mostly because I'm very psychic. Well, I'm open-minded, but let's look at the word. The word psychic conceals the word sick. It's a little joke played by the creators of our language. Yes, our language was created, the English language, most certainly, not by our friends. And the reviewer says, I have devoured many, many esoteric books, devoured this hungry soul. But this book, hmm, The New Earth, is the book for the New Age, without a doubt. Well, I do beg to differ. I have some other books in mind for the New Age. These New Age books are not making much impact on our world. I, sorry, I will resume. Eckhart Tolle is not saying anything new. It's the same wisdom that Jesus, Buddha, and other great masters have tried to teach us. Well, I would beg to differ, although, in the details are very different. The Gospels and Eckhart Tolle's work have very little in common on the surface. It's only on a deeper level that both clearly are intended to prevent us from understanding our world and from thinking doing the thinking we need to do in order to arrive at some understanding, not only of our world, but of how to create a better world and find that elusive peace that the New Agers never weary of pursuing in vain. That wisdom. It's the same wisdom that Jesus and Buddha and other great masters have tried to teach us. Well, that wisdom is simply that we must believe. Simply be present, live in the now, be pure self-awareness, attain Buddhahood, call it what you will. It all means stop thinking. But the reviewer adds, what sets it apart is that it's clearly and simply put, and most importantly, practical. How practical is it to tune out of reality, turn off your mind, live in the present as if you could ever escape from it? But, well, people do try, and some people succeed. Boiled down to its essence, the new earth is about living in the moment because fear inhabits the gap between the now, which is all there is. In that case, we should stop and say there can't be a gap between now and anything else. If now is everything, well, and our imagined future or past or remembered past. Any moment other than the now is only in our thoughts. Well, that is inarguable. We didn't need that pointed out. Memory in the past, fantasy in the future. Fantasy, that's not so flattering, is it? Not plans for the future, not careful planning. No. Um, Memory actually doesn't get a good reputation in this field either. It tends to be associated with trauma for some reason, as if all of us are traumatized. Yes, if not by abusive people, then simply by birth. Yes, there are psychologists and philosophers who claim that birth itself is traumatic for the child. And no doubt that memory is embedded somewhere, like a cyst in our subconscious. And fear arises because of hurtful memories. Indeed. That's all we have. Hurtful memories replayed in our thoughts. In vain, because, thought cannot find a way to overcome the hurt. Thinking is impotent. I will argue otherwise in a moment and show the way with some very, very esoteric thoughts on what is thinking. Um, Also, yes, hurtful imagined scenarios in the future. Maybe, maybe hopeful in vain. Not sure, but apparently it's a waste of time to imagine and to remember. We have two choices: to accept the moment, or if it's unpleasant, to do something about it. What? Give us practical solutions, please. I say, well, I know what their practical solution is. It's to tune out. Yeah. Delete the past. Delete your your fantasies about the future. Live in the now. Ride with the wind and the waves. But, okay, to allow our mind to chew endlessly on negative thoughts, taking us out of the moment and filling us with anxiety is what makes most of us unhappy. Hmm. Is that true? Chewing endlessly on negative thoughts. I mean, if you're chronically ill, uh, seriously in debt, unemployed, having domestic troubles, stop chewing on those negative thoughts. What are the solutions to those things? Eckhart Tolle did not deign, and does not deign to offer solutions. Nothing practical there. Should we be vaccinated or not? Well, live in the moment. Don't think about it. So, how do we stop our mind from being drawn to those painful memories and into our uncertain future? By committing to the now, the uncertain future. How scary stuff. Seems like these people don't want to do any real mental work, mental exercise, building some mental fitness to deal with painful memories, fear of the future, sad wusses. By really feeling it with our senses, that's how you get into the now. How often have we walked through a beautiful wood but noticed nothing because of our worries? It's true. I don't deny that can happen. But forgetting your worries doesn't seem very good advice. Try listening to the bird song, feeling the sun on your face, looking at the bluebells, the way the light filters in pale beams through the trees and falls in dappled sunspots on the grass ahead. When you begin to notice the natural world around you, your heart expands with joy and your worries dissolve. Yes, indeed. Don't worry about habitat destruction and your your various problems you might have. Never mind. Skin cancer. No, it's not caused really by the sun, by sick people. Um, the second point he makes, that is Eckhart Tolle, it's about the ego. We are not our egos. Well, okay. I guess we can make a. They do like to make hard distinctions as if not everything is connected. We can just throw our ego away. But we think we are our egos. We think we are. That's a very poor use of the word think. It really should be written as believe, but we believe we identify with our egos, even though they make us miserable, because the ego is never satisfied. Never satisfied. No, it's always looking for something to chew on. The ego, the mind, I would replace it with the mind and not divide the mind into categories, imaginary levels, Freudian, Jungian, whatnot. The mind needs food for thought, and if you don't give it good food, or if you don't know how to think, yes, it will never be satisfied. It is the ego that tells us we are not good enough, rich enough, pretty enough, successful enough. Our ego is the cause of our unhappiness. Actually, a little correction. The cause of our unhappiness is our stupidity, maybe misfortune, our failure to think, and our failure to understand our world and how we should live instead of how we do live. Eckhart tells us how to get over our egos, to find the loving people we are beneath. That loving person or that loving consciousness is just waiting to be discovered beneath your ego. Not much effort needed. What is love anyway? It's a cheap word thrown around like candy. It's a life-changing book. Read it. No, please don't. Please think it. Think about it. I don't, well, if reading means believe it, passively read it, please don't do that. What is thinking? Most people use the words think and believe as if they were synonyms and only use the words thinking and believing for different mental states. But how should we define thinking? I thought about this question for many years and slowly developed a very interesting answer that I named the modes of mind. One moment, I will share this very esoteric document, part of it, the document known by me at least, as the hexagon with a silent E at the end. And here are the modes of mind, 9 modes of thinking. You will not find them in the dictionary. First mode, question any claim about X. Questioning is not part of the New Age movement. Second mode, observe that X seems different from different perspectives. Also, not a mode practiced by the New Agers. Third mode, observe that X is similar to one or more things. Stop making uh, instinctive, reactionary distinctions between things and please look for some similarities. They do exist in most cases. Fourth mode, convert X into its opposite. That's what we do when we think ironically, speak sarcastically. Fifth mode, this is the highest level, most complex, recognizing patterns, discover or create repeating patterns and similarity, substitution patterns in art and reality. Sixth mode, well, I won't read them all. They're here. Anyone who wants to pause and read them can do so. Let's move on to another book, quite another book, um, in which I, oh, I think I can manage this. Go back there, and then here we go to the Holy Spells, not the New Earth. This is quite a different book. World History and the World's Religions Exposed as the Jokes of the Criminal Elites. And more than jokes, but I do like to focus on the comical whenever possible. Yeah, those floating heads again. This book has, as my other books also, have been product of 20 years of work. Table of contents. This is very, very encyclopedic. The authors, the ugly oneness hidden in diversity. I know the New Agers love to think that all our religions conceal a beautiful oneness. On the contrary. And they're all written by the same people, created by the same cult, which I call often the world culture creators, the world criminal cabal, the WCC. I'm covering everything from folk tales around the world to dead religions, large section on holy spells, main or major religions, Judaism, Catholicism, the Orthodox Church, Islamic spells, and yes, during the last year, I've added considerable material about cannibalism. I know that might catch some people's attention more than other subjects. Certainly did me. There's a whole that's Islam, Confucian spells, the Forbidden City. I do also work with architecture lately, not just literature. Taoist spells, a little satanic interlude, the World Cannibal Cult, again, the WCC, the Fountain of Adrenochrome, Mercury Trismegistus, Baphomet's Meat, Universal Satanism Exposed, Crowley and LaVey, etc. And it ends with the hexagon, as do all my books, almost all my books. And one more share, change of share. Let's go to, oh, my order form. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, shame on me. Hmm, I forgot to point out that, now, where are you? Where are my PDFs? Where are you? Well, there is a good section in my in the Holy Spells on Eckhart Tolle. It's titled Comedy or Eckhart Tolle, Comedy or Spiritualism. Which would you prefer? If you wish to contact me, support me, buy one of my PDFs. I will attempt to provide the chance to buy abridged versions of my books. The Criminal Bible is ready for that, but the full length is of my books. The full length books are too long to print, especially in color. I mean, if we're interested in being affordable, that wouldn't be really possible. Many of these books are in excess of 600 pages, and then mailing them, that's crazy, crazy stuff, crazy prices. So yes, it's possible to print these via Lulu, just about in any English-speaking country. I could just send an abridged version with all the best parts of any of my books, and the buyer could send them to Lulu and have it mailed by Lulu to them. I think the price is quite reasonable. Well, I wish you all well and be good. I'll be back to do more.